Archie, standout player. We're a team that we're expecting to go deep into this tournament, and they'll be wanting to get off on the right footing.
Well, South Africa will start it off here on the attack against a very tough England side. Devo just watching and waiting for his moment to take over. Got that ball downfield, but Darth is right there. Able to center? No, Archie. Emphatic clear out of the zone. Devo looking for the redirect, could not land. And now a pass centered for Nolly's soft shot is blocked right on the goal line.
Incredible goal line save. There's already big plays coming out from South Africa. Nearly 4 seconds in off kickoff. Darth, and he got an incredible double touch, and all the great British defenders just had to stand and watch. If he hit that, South Africa would have the lead here 1-0, and what a story that would be opening up. And you see, they've got the counter-attack here. Darth again looking to aggress, but the block comes through equally so.
Archie will try to take over now for England. That goes right to CP Zebra. Snowy falling in behind him. South Africa, I believe, was the first team that we had qualify for the EMEA regional finals. And Zebra just comes in and picks that right away from Nolly. Zebra has options, opted for Darth here. And the ball just skips all the way through harmlessly to the corner. Snowy gives that a look, but yet another clear coming out of Great Britain. And here come the Brits. Devo shot blocked away by Snowy. I mean, it's got to be great field awareness on display for South Africa if they're going to keep pace with England.
Exactly. South Africa are coming out here, and you can see they're not giving any respect to the Brits, and I think it's exactly what they need to do. They're challenging early, maybe earlier than they're used to the point where they're not even always making contact with the ball. Look at this patience from Devo, but Nolly isn't going to hit the target. Devo had carved up the African defense there, and it was on a plate. It didn't get taken.
Nolly with Devo falling in behind him. Will it be Devo that gets a look? Here it is, as Archie's all the way back. He'll be called into action, and Snowy wins the challenge over him. Nolly just trying to dish that off to the side. It's Devo there. But Darth's got to get up in a hurry, but Snowy's there to bail him out as Darth a little slow. He ran out of boost. Now he's got a full tank, and it won't matter. Nolly's drive wins it near side.
And it was coming for a little while, wasn't it? That double commit proving costly. Zebra doesn't challenge it directly, allows the shot, and you can't give Nolly a shot like that. Bouncing down, and on that bounce, he strikes it. Pride and true. The cracks have been there for South Africa, but to be fair, they're still fighting tooth and nail.
Well, Archie cheating up, had the ball go over him, but nobody else from South Africa came up. So Nolly able to play through. And we'll see if England can continue this momentum here. Archie given a lot of time and space. Nobody got near him, and he picked him apart. Devo scores.
Yeah, they're trying to play the patient game now sometimes. South Africa, they got 2 players in net here. Archie just flicks it up high, and Darth, he's tried really well there, but Devo, he's just so damn fast. He beats most of Europe to the ball, and unfortunately South Africa, that's such a high bar to meet, and they're falling a little bit short, and those fine margins are always typically what make the difference in Rocket League. It's adding up slowly, and you have to say Great Britain, they're looking more and more in control.
Both these teams chasing Norway. 3-1 winners a moment ago over the Czech Republic. The other 2 teams in Group A will have Group B coming up after this series as Archie will score and the lead extends to 3.
Don't like to use the floodgates term, but it really is appropriate here. The first 2 minutes from South Africa I was really impressed with, and I'm sure they'd be happy with as well. But the second that first one went in, it's been 3 inside the last minute.
Yeah, South Africa held the line for as long as they could. And it seems like it's kind of all falling by the wayside. They try a pinch shot, and Zebra makes a save. Wasn't the cleanest pinch. That allowed Zebra to get in there for the save, but now Nolly, big booming clear, looking for Devo, found him. Teamwork is certainly there. You would imagine it would be, of course, with Bregan at the helm, especially with those 2 players. Archie now centering again for Devo. That's going to be cleared away, so England will reset.
Can't remember the last time South Africa had possession in the British half. They opened up so strongly, and I remember mentioning, they could have had the lead, but unfortunately they're going to need more than just the glimpse chances they've had so far. Devo, he looks completely in control here. He forces to 50, but of course, I would say it was favoured towards Britain. Nolly just doesn't end up hitting the ball. Completely demos Zebra instead. Of course, credit to CP Zebra. He's come a long way, has he? He's probably the oldest player in the competition right now. 30 years of age, Stacks, turning 31 as well. That deserves some respect right here. He's been at it for years as well, and it's so good to see him make it to this stage.
Yeah, the timeless one. People often talk, sometimes jokingly, about age being a detriment in Rocket League. Well, 21, Devo, 4-0 now to Great Britain.
He might not be as old, but he's certainly still been around the block, and he makes that one look very simple. He had the open net, didn't need to fire it in and absolutely slam it into the top corner, but I'm sure he still took satisfaction in doing just that. Game one appears to be a wrap, but there is still time for South Africa to get one back. They'd really be wanting one on the books here. It would be painful to see them shut out after how close the opening couple minutes were. They do deserve this. Snowy, he is going to win that challenge, and he's going to try and force the ball past Noli as well. But you see how defensive South Africa are now. They're almost playing to sort of minimize their losses. 2 players back so often, and that level of passiveness. We saw them take it early on to Great Britain and try and knock the wind out of them, even if they may not be quite as skilled as the British players to that sheer prestige level. It's just now they're sitting back. It feels like they're spectators half the time.
Final 10 seconds here will mercifully burn off the clock. Hopefully with no more goals conceded by South Africa. They made a goal line save yet again. They've had to make a few, else this might even balloon even more out of control. 6 or 7 goals as Scouse Lorner, Team Great Britain, takes game one.
Terrible name. Absolutely terrible. But Great Britain, they do take game one, like you say. Of course, this is on EU servers. I'll make that quick mention now. Ping is looking at about 190 for South Africa. And crazy. Honestly, they're the guys who are best at it. Massive props to them. That, for 4-0, was quite a respectable game. And honestly, they may have only had the 2 shots, but I am impressed with their endurance under these conditions nonetheless. And they're really putting up a performance considering that.
Yeah, 2 shots taken by the South African side. Only the 1 save required by Nolly. So they get outshot 10-2 in game one. So Great Britain out to a fast start here after game one.
And you guarantee it's just the sort of thing that helps build their confidence. They'll be really happy that this is their first game. You could say it's their easiest game on paper, and on paper, it probably is. And getting into this, coming into this day, when they're coming in as favourites with that weight on their shoulders, it's nice to get this one out the way early, build your confidence up, and when you go into them, again, on paper, more difficult games against the Czech Republic, against Norway, when you need to defend your spot at the top of the group that you're expected to make, it just lays it out south nicely for you.
All right, had a little extra moment in between games. We'll see if that serves South Africa any at all here, as Devo very quickly on the attack, so too is Archie. Nolly just waiting at the back, but a full tank of boost. I'd expect to see that a lot. I would imagine Great Britain is going to have their pick of as much boost as they want and need as this series rolls on. Just seems like they are able to get around the field with a little more efficiency, as that one's won through by Archie. Devo to try and center now for Nolly, but he had cold feet right at the last moment, kind of pulled off, and now South Africa on the attack. Darth, just a little volleyball setup, and Archie's the only one in the vicinity.
No, that's such a good point you make about the efficiency, though, in terms of mechanics when it comes out of Great Britain. Some of the top players in the game and the boost differential that it opens up, it's an exponential effect, right? They're that little bit more efficient around the field, so they get a little bit more boost. And because they've got that little bit more boost, they can move around the field more, and it snowballs out of control, and allowing the open play as it grows time and time again. You see the grip start to close of Great Britain on the South African half, and unless they break out, as they do nicely like this, over time, it just becomes inevitable that the goal is coming.
You still have to play the games for a reason, and very important for England, Great Britain, not to take anybody for granted, as Nolly just barely got back. Thought he had all day to go for boost, had to make a quick turn to make the save, and now the shot back the other way, nowhere near the mark, and could not center for anybody as his teammates were way, way back. But again, you got to get this series over with as quickly as you can. You saw Norway drop the game in their win, so they're on those 3 points, but a 3-1 record. It'd be great for Great Britain to get those 3 points for a win, but not drop a single game with, of course, game differential being oh so important to break the ties.
At the first tiebreaker, like you say, and what a chance it was with Darth slamming clear from the backboard that Nolly had to scramble back for. But that's the only glimpse chance so far that we talk about for South Africa. Getting ferried out the way, though, Nolly was there. It was the bouncer of Snowy just saying, no, you're not going for that ball, and it's going to keep South Africa afloat here. And once again, the first half of the game, the first 2 minutes have really been impressive from them, but will the floodgates open again as Nolly, he continues his double touch practice, but he's off the mark for the second time, and Devo, he's going to try his luck. The defense for now holding strong, but for how long can they really keep this up?
Yeah, we saw Greg in earlier talking about a clip-worthy region, and Nolly was trying to make a clip or two of his own. Here comes Archie, given free rein, and he sailed one high, wide, and not very handsome, and it remains scoreless.
We get the Carpenters out to repair the crossbar, please, Stacks. That is a dent he has put into that one from close range. The double touch comes out again. That net is open. He's not going to miss this time. Devo, he slams that one home. The defense was put in shambles after attempt after attempt. The block came through, but it was still dangerous, and finally, Britain have their lead.
1-0 to Great Britain, the third goal of the series for Devo. 2:09 to go. South Africa really up against it here. Snowy will just roll that back to Darth. I think they expected Archie to go after that ball, and he just kind of pumped the brakes and kind of forced South Africa into a bit of disarray. Nolly got the bump in midair. Oh, it's not even fair. Give him a red card for goalie interference. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. Nolly, the cyber bully right now. Darth, he was like, please let me make... No. I will not let you let the save. And it's just going to be 2-0. Great Britain here, again opening it up. It seems like once South Africa concede, they feel this sort of need to either turtle up, and when they go forward, it feels like they're chasing the game as almost a lost cause. It's so difficult for them to play on the front foot when you see fakes like this come through. It's so powerful from Great Britain, and they're just controlling it. You see Nolly again popping it high, buying the time, and speaking of time, it's running out for South Africa to start this comeback.
So now it's Archie trying to center for Nolly. Oh, he tried to dish it off. Now Devo can take his sweet time, and a good proactive defensive play from the South Africans. Now Archie, lateral pass, still bounces through. This goes deep into the corner for Devo, and it's just possession for Great Britain. Almost feels like they're dribbling circles around the South African zone. Archie scores to make it 3-0.
He does. Devo, he's driving in them circles. Snowy couldn't quite get the back boost, and that's such a smart, patient touch from Nolly, though. You could say it doesn't matter so much already being 2-0 up, but he sees that the area he wanted to shoot that ball was already covered by the two defenders back, Zebra and Snowy. Plays it patience with that back flip touch, and it allows them to be baited out, creates the space in behind for the shot, and it's just the sort of smart play you expect out of this top team in Great Britain. But I still want to give credit to South Africa. He may say, oh, it was 4-0 and it's currently 3-0. That's not exactly ideal, but consider the conditions they're playing under as well. Personally, Stacks, I was expecting this to be more ugly.
Yeah, South Africa are hanging around against Great Britain, but unable to generate the offensive opportunities they would like to. This, of course, is the close of round 1 of Group A. Group B taking over after this. The Netherlands and France waiting in the wings, to be followed by Saudi Arabia and Germany, I believe, as Archie will drop one in. And yet again, another one. 4-0 again to Great Britain.
It's just absolutely chilling, Archie was. It was as if he was in free play, just vibing, a completely open net. And he's like, you know what, I'll just pass it to myself off the backboard. And whenever these gaps open up, traditionally with double commits coming out of South Africa, given the fact it's so hard for them to decide at this pace that they're not necessarily used to, who should be going, who shouldn't be. And any time this double commit, it just gets punished so frequently from Great Britain. As you maybe see, the counter-attack comes through from South Africa. They will not be shut out in game 2 or the series here. Archie's dunk doesn't come through. Snowy too quick for Devo, and Darth, all the faith in his teammate to make that touch, slams it in from close range.
So at least one for the road at the end of game 2. Sometimes, you know, you just need to see the ball get into the net, get just a little confidence, if nothing else. But South Africa has a monumental task ahead. Let's face it, they are against the top dog in Group A on paper and so far on the pitch. Great Britain takes another one. 4 more goals and 1 win away from a 3-0 sweep.
Another 3-goal differential as well. Will it be the 3-game differential? It's looking like it again. A 13-shot to 2. 2 shots seems to be the trend for Pirates XD. And if they're going to win 1 or 2-0, that's fine by me. But you're going to have to see they need to work on that defense when they're playing against these caliber of competition that they're just... It must feel almost alien. They've seen them play. They've watched them play. They've admired them play. But unfortunately, admiring isn't going to do anything when you're on the field and getting bumped in the face there, like you saw from Noli.
Yeah, Noli just no chill whatsoever, taking no prisoners as Great Britain. 4 goals in game 1, 4 in game 2. Very identical scoreboards, ultimately, through the first couple of games. And now we wait for our 3rd game. Could be the final game here in the opening round of matches in Group A. And for South Africa, again, you know, you just kind of, it's almost like you got to be kind of a learning, adaptable AI, right? You see what England is doing, and you just try to read and react and guess what they're going to do in the future. By the way, you at home can win as well. Fill out the survey over at intel.gg/win500. You can win a $500 Visa gift card, and think of all the paninis you could get with $500.
Depends. How much would the panini cost, though? You know the one I'm talking. Simone's panini is probably like up for auction at even more than $500.
Well, you know, I don't know, because I think the market would be a little saturated. I mean, it seems like every half hour or so, there's another panini entering the market.
Actually true. Are they the same panini, or is it one omnipotent panini, as referred to as Jam?
We'll see who will win the golden panini at the end of all of this. Who will be our MVP as Archie rolls one through. It very well could be him if England can bring it home in the Intel World Open.
Yeah, he's putting in an MV Panini performance there. The defense, the less spoke about it, the better. You see Snowy just stopping the midfield. He's like, yep, that is going to be a goal. Unfortunate here is, honestly, it's their poorest defense performance to start the game here. They've kept their clean sheet for the opening 2 minutes of both games, right? This time it's opened up early, and each time 1 goal has preceded many more coming. And as I hope that trend does not continue here, because South Africa, for their confidence that they got off the goal at the end of last game, think about the confidence that an equalizer could give them here, as a double touch from Noy is actually going to screw over Archie's attempt. He'd already jumped up for it, and somehow South Africa stayed just the 1 behind.
That's something South Africa may have to rely on and try to punish as well. England maybe getting a little too comfortable in the offensive end and maybe catching them on a counterattack, but they've got to break out of the zone oh so quickly. And again, rely on mistakes, which Great Britain is not making many of. Devo towards Nolly, and they're not on the same page there. So here goes Darth. Here's one of those quick counterattacks. Flip, reset, couldn't quite get it. And then Snowy came up but pulled off at the last moment. And he really had to, because that ball was going to be screaming back the other way. Off the backboard, Nolly's there, and he scores!
Painful. Darth just has to stand and watch again. Looks like he had no boost. Great Britain just picking the defense apart patiently, and it's a clinical finish from Noli. You go back to the other end of the field, right, with Darth looking for the flip reset. Like you said, if he has 10, 20 more boosts there, he could have got the sort of goal to lift an entire continent's hopes here, because really, we talk about the Middle East and Asia trying to join the RLCS, deservedly so, but Africa, they struggle to even get into that conversation in the first place. So performances like this are huge for raising their stock, because really they could show that they're here to stay, and under the conditions, I think the performance they're putting in really is worthy of it.
Nolly waiting to come up, but he has to wait even longer as Darth got the ball deep into the corner, and then South Africa sent scurrying back to their own half of the field yet again. CP Zebra, Snowy, both kind of tied up in the corner. It'll be Zebra against Nolly and Archie. Both had their back to him. And another opportunity for South Africa. Nolly just waited and waited. I think he was hoping that corner boost would spawn for him. Nothing is spawning anywhere near him. Has to give it up to Archie, and he snipes the upper 90.
We saw a goal just this beautiful in the previous series as well. Despite no boost, Noli gets that flick past 2 players, and Archie with a fantastic shot to the top corner. Snowy there in no man's land. He hadn't gone back to cover the net, and he was still not technically going forward to challenge the ball. Has to watch it sail in past him with a high quality shot, and once again they're 3 down at halftime here, and it is just desperation time for South Africa.
Devo against Snowy, another one centered, another one ricochets into the net. Archie adds another just at the halfway mark, and Great Britain again already have their 4th goal.
And you have to give credit, right? We talked about the scenarios of tiebreakers in the groups. If it's a 3-way tiebreaker, you talk about game differential first, then head-to-head, and if you can't tie in terms of head-to-head against the team that isn't tied, it goes to goal difference. So you have to say it's in Great Britain's interest to, I mean, that's just not necessary. You don't need to do that, Devo. There's no need for this. This is too far.
Look, goal differential has a non-zero chance of mattering. Style points, however, always matter. Devo just scoring from every angle imaginable. I mean, we've seen flashes of kind of the old Devo, peak Devo. And he's really starting to take over here. Darth, big save to keep that one out. Still though, 5-0, that Devo just looking for more.
That goal was outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. I mean,
he's going to get his channel going pretty soon.
They were 4-0 up, sure, but that's goal of the tournament for me so far. The execution to get the reset off the ceiling and the drop down on that bounce. Really, I mentioned it earlier, South Africa felt like spectators on that play. It just decided to stand back and applaud, but unfortunately that's not going to help their chances in this series or the group. They've had the 1 goal. Hopefully they can double down on that, because I can't see them coming back in this 3rd game.
Unfortunately, more of a practice session for the Great Britain side. 90 seconds left in that session as Snowy have a 1v1 against Nolly. Got the shot early. Nolly able to make the save. Darth will come in to try and center. He does so, and CP Zebra's shot beats Archie to get South Africa on the board.
It may not have been fast or pretty, but it was certainly well placed there. It's a good infield from Darth. Catches all 3 players on the back foot as Archie goes to cover the front post. He didn't even need help. Devo had that covered and simply finding the bottom corner. Back-to-back games do South Africa scoring. Great for their confidence. You talked about it being a warm-up game for Great Britain. You can say the same for South Africa. When they look at this group and they're targeting teams to try and beat for top 2, they certainly weren't looking at Great Britain. And I think, again, it benefits them to play them first in terms of acclimatizing to the level and pace of play they have to be up against here. It almost might over-adapt for them, in fact, that when they go against Norway and the Czech Republic, it'll feel that bit little better and they'll be able to keep up and maybe pull out a huge result.
Nolly just having that one rattle around. Here goes CP Zebra, given some time and space, but not much of it as Archie closes in very quickly. Nolly up against CP Zebra. They got a demolition on Archie, so now they got to take advantage of it, and they can't. Nolly stands his ground here in the final minute, and it's looking like yet another runaway victory now for Great Britain. It has looked that way for a while. Those 4 goals in 2.5 minutes certainly put this one out of reach. South Africa now just trying to play for any goals they can get. Remember, you play for as much as you can get.
Yep.
That goal differential, you never know when it will matter. We'll see if they can add 1 more here in the closing seconds. Nolly trying to keep this in the zone, though. Great Britain is not letting South Africa out. 2 seconds left. Clock's going to hit 0. Ball's going to touch down in just a moment. We'll see how long these players can keep this up. Seems to be about, well, I thought it was going to drop there, but South Africa will have 1 more look. Darth the center, and Archie just having none of it. The fun police have arrived, and it's looking like a 5-1 scoreline unless they can somehow keep this up, and they will not. Great Britain gets a 3-0 sweep to counter Norway's 3-1 victory earlier, and Great Britain